Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Don't want to see the apostles and elders of great most on the roll wall, and Shalom to the brothers to the way Syrian truth. Yeah, got this article on RT, and yeah, it's basically Biden talking about what's coming, and it's a week plus into 2022. It's more or less already you know, it's clear they've laid most, if not all, of the groundwork really for the charagma to be coming in, man. And that's where you can see they're going. It says Biden assesses future of C-19 new normal. The US president weighed in on whether the C will ever be contained. President Joe Biden said he believes the new normal brought by the C-19 outbreak will eventually let up, offering some optimism about the pandemic, while arguing the US is already in a much better place than it was in 2021. Oh, a week in. So he says, see, as we are dealing with it now is not going to stay, Biden told reporters on Friday, adding that the US has what? So many more tools we are developing and continue to develop. Anyone who's clued in knows that leads into the charagma. Because what have you had recently? You just had hella people, hella articles going out about what? Saying for the thingy, the Max passports, basically saying all your details related to that, you can have it all linked in with the charagma, and all of a sudden, just from nowhere, after not really pushing it since a little while back, when you had the Pentagon mention it, saying you'll have, you get the implant, and then it will detect, and then basically dispense, and take care of, to see if you get infected. And those, the Pentagon saying it, I believe for the U.S. Army. So that when it's being mentioned, what it say? More tools. I'll play a little bit of it. I think where he says it.
Here to stay. The new normal doesn't have to be. We have so many more tools we're developing and continue to develop. That will keep.
Yeah, got so many more tools we're developing and continuing to develop. Hey, what else could it be? What else could it be? Because as far as it's the main thing they've been pushing is a booster. Mentioned in the video before how you go cinema, you get some big tough for on the screen talking about, go get your boosters. You got advertisements everywhere talking about it. It's being promoted heavily, and it's funny because they've been lowering the what's it called, the quarantine days, and needing to test before you go overseas or come back. I can't remember, because I think they said you no longer need to pay for a test before you leave. Was it before you? I think it was before you leave. So now they've said you no longer need to pay for a test before you leave. And what was the other one? Yeah, you no longer need to pay for a test before you leave. So yeah, they basically made it so it's like, if you your booster, things will be easier. This is what the president argued that the US is currently in a better position compared to last year, with 90% of schools remaining open despite a new wave of C infections caused by the Biden stated that that was only possible because his administration has spent the necessary time and money on solutions, highlighting 11 million daily tests as part of that policy. The new normal is not going to be what it is now. It's going to get better. Yeah, so that new normal concept, that whole concept of it's not gonna go back to just being normal. it's going to remain a new normal, but it's what they say it's going to be better. Better for who? Not not better for the general public, because bro, men have never cared about the general public. It's going to be better for what the elites, because they're going to be bringing in what they desire. And it was Joe Biden was one talking to the Supreme Court about it before, and now you have it with his the mandate basically being in the Supreme Court. I don't believe they've let's see if it's in here. No, I don't believe they've what do you call it, come to a conclusion yet on how they're gonna rule. I'm expecting it to go through, man, because it's already at a level. And the thing is as well, they're saying like at state level, a lot of states are already implementing it anyway. So it's something that's going to roll out. It's going to push out easily. So it says Biden's statement came after 6 of his former health advisors published a number of critical articles calling for a complete overhaul of the federal strategy, also urging Washington to acknowledge that the V will be around indefinitely and to adapt to that reality. As an old variant of C demonstrates, C19 is here to stay. The former advisors argued in one of the articles published this week in the Journal of the American Medical Association. The ex-officials stressed that policymakers need to identify the goals and strategies for the new normal of life with C19 and communicate them clearly to the public. Yeah, and that's the thing it's become completely evident. It's it being eradicated is a complete myth. It's at the point where now they're just saying like, oh, okay, yeah, it's always going to be around. So as such, then they can just say, okay, look, this is going to be our way of monitoring. This is going to be a way of addressing it so that everything can go back to normal. You deal with it, you get this charagma. You deal with that, and then that will basically facilitate you being able to get back to normal life. And where I can see it easily. The ex-officials stressed that policy... I already read that one. Claims to public. Especially as always fueling concerns about a perpetual state of emergency. They also said that the Biden team should approach the issue with humility. There is still much to learn about the V, as well as MAC, or the YAB, and treatments. Because, well, that perpetual state of emergency, they're gonna, well, as far as for so-called ease, calm, peace, that's gonna be tied to the charagma. Everything is, if you want like the illusion, well, they're basically gonna sell you on the hope of everything returning to normal, everything returning to calm. You get it, and then you're gonna be able to enjoy life as you previously did. That's what the angle's gonna be. But in reality, well, I'll read it in a sec. So this is what the US has registered more than 59 million infections since it began in late 2019, according to data tracked by the Johns Hopkins University. As a more transmissible O strain quickly makes the rounds, the country smashed world case records early this week, reporting more than 1 million infections in a single day. Early research into the latest variant, however, suggests it's less deadly. Yeah, so it's with it, becoming clear, because now they're saying, there's millions upon millions of cases, and it's not even hit the same level as before, as they were saying, we're passing through. So now they got to basically be like, okay, well, people are going to be getting antsy. Well, give them, what they want to a certain degree, but tie it into the charagma. And that's really, Yeah, that's what you're gonna have. This is what Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt." And that's, all the Jake that are basically here, and they're looking to Esau. That's where they're taking their guidance from. That's where they're taking their how they're making decisions about these things from. They're gonna catch colossal legendary L's off that. That's gonna be to their doom and demise, man. Because there's what? Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Yeah, you trusting in Pharaoh, you trusting in Joe Biden basically as your source of, as your soothing balm, your ointment for this situation. That's gonna be to your demise, because like he said, they've got various tools, various things in the works, and that charagma is involved. And when you get into the book of Revelation, where it's talking about, then what? It's those that take it. It's gonna be a bit on top, which is to say that they're basically gonna be put to death, man. They're gonna be tormented in the sight of the holy angels, man, and burnt with fire. They're gonna get judged heavily. They ain't gonna be no easy path out. They're gonna get judged on a legendary level, and those that have already taken the juice, they're basically just buttered up. They're prepared. They've already complied. So it's just like how the boost is gonna be offered. They're just gonna take it. Same for the charagma. They're gonna jump on it. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yeah? And it's like it says, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, at all levels. Everyone's outside of the inner ring of the elites is going to be complying with it. That's why you're going to have it. All these people that people now look at as the highest stratas of society, they're celebrities, the so-called richest people on earth. Like Jeff Bezos, his Elon Musk's, and whatnot. They're going to be partaking in the system as well. So the people in the line, and why? Because they idolize and they follow after these people. Anyway, man, they've already deified them in their mind. They're just gonna be going along. They'll do, just like with the juice. They had hella music videos going out, hella people promoting it, hella social media posts, hella people say like, "Oh, what, you're not getting it?" What's her name, man? The Black Panther girl, Letitia Wright. She got drop kicked off the production because she didn't want to get. So yeah, it's become that big dividing line, and hey, it's where it's gonna get to is when it comes to that charagma. That's when it's gonna be. Hey, you like basically gonna be deciding your fate at that point, whether you're gonna take it and get the judgments detailed in Revelation 14, or you're gonna resist in the hour of temptation and basically endure, man, whatever comes with that resistance. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.